I'm Megan Locke. I'm so happy you're here today joining us to learn all about Google Slides and just some of the basics and how to use Slidekick in your classes and how to make your life as a teacher so much easier. I am an admin in the Google Slides group. I'm a VIPKid teacher, and I'm a TMC, which I create stuff like on the certifications portal and for the library and stuff. I was a brick and mortar English teacher for 5 years, and I loved it, and I probably will go back, but I'm enjoying my time being Milo's mom, and he's almost 4. I know, time flies. He's almost 4, and so I know I've got a little bit of time left before he goes off to kindergarten, so I'm enjoying it. And I went to Mary Hardin Baylor, if anybody has ever heard of that. It's a very small college in Belton, Texas. Yeah. Me and my husband actually are high school sweethearts, and we went to college. We both went to Mary Hardin Baylor, so go Crew. Okay, so Google Slides Zooms. If you are a brand new member in our group, raise your hand or say me in the chat box, okay? Because this is my favorite session because I'm so excited to meet new members and to give you guys some tools that's gonna make your life so much easier. Awesome, welcome Maria, welcome Joy. Brittany, yay. I'm so glad you're here, and I know there's some admin in the chat box as well, I think, maybe. Yeah, Heather. And we're just all so glad that you guys are part of our group, and you're going to enjoy Google Slides as much as we do. Google Slides Zooms are hosted monthly and voluntarily by the admin team. We host Zooms on lots of different topics. This month we have the beginner session, which is where you are right now. And then we also have one on Cam Twist and Webcam software. Those are a little bit more advanced. There's one tomorrow as well for the planner. That's a more advanced method. And then we are not affiliated with or sponsored by VIPKid, so you won't be getting any tokens for this session. I'm so sorry. No token raffles or anything. And they're free and so much fun. So if you are new to the Google Slides group, but you're also new to VIPKid, you might be new to Zoom. And Zoom it takes some getting used to. As you can see, I've been using Zoom for like 2+ years now, and I still couldn't figure out how to find the video gallery. So if you need to, you can use some of these little buttons to open up the chat box, or if you're joining us from your mobile device, your buttons look a little different. So if you'd like to open up the chat box, you can find that one under participants, okay? On a desktop, you should see a little floating toolbar and it'll say chat, okay? Now, after the session, you might wanna save our chat because we are going to be asking and answering questions in the chat box, and you might wanna save that text, okay? So if you do, you can, if you're on a desktop or computer. So you would open up the chat box and click those little 3 dots that say, well, yours might say more. Mine are 3 dots, and you can click Save Chat, and it'll save to your computer. Okay, so we have 3 main goals today. First being what are the basics of Google Slides? Like, what is Google Slides? You know, like, what is it? And how do we use them with VIPKid classes? And then the second thing is that we're going to learn how to access our resource bank, which is the resource bank of the Google Slides group. And we are so proud of our resources because we have over 15,000 with feedback templates included in that. We have over 15,000 resources that were created for teachers by teachers. So and they're all for free, and it's just amazing. It's a great collaboration. So we're going to learn how to access all of those files because it can be a little confusing. And then after we access those files and resources like reward games and props and feedback templates and lesson notes, after we access those, we're going to show you how to use them, okay? And today, since this is the beginner session, we're going to be focusing on how to use them on your mobile device, okay? So I've got my handy dandy iPhone here. I usually use my ancient iPad, but oh my gosh, the last time I used it, it was not good. I don't know if you remember that session, Heather. It was giving me fits. So the basics, let's start with that today. So first and foremost, let's talk about what are Google Slides, and send your answer in the chat box if you want. I usually encourage that, but since it's such a small group, go ahead and if you want to unmute yourself, you can as well, and just tell me what do you think Google Slides is? I don't know. Tell me what you think.
I think it's like PowerPoints, that this is made by Google. And it is a good tool to help enhance our lessons that we're teaching.
Okay, hold on just a minute, because I could kind of hear you because it's coming out of my headphones and I changed to these. So 1 second. Okay, say that one more time because I could hear your answer slightly and it was really good. Go ahead.
I feel Google Slides is like Microsoft PowerPoint, but the main goal is that it's not easier to use, but it's able to help us enhance our teaching, give us other teaching tools to be creative.
Yeah, exactly. It is really like Microsoft PowerPoint. You hit the nail on the head right there. It's Google's version of Microsoft PowerPoint. So what's different is, like you said, you can use them on any device to enhance your classroom. Google Slides is just that online PowerPoint presentation program, and you can create things, but then also open things on any device because it uses the internet instead of software on your computer. So those are like that's just a brief overview. So Google Slides, I use is and are, and I'm like, I'm an English teacher now. Come on, Megan. The thing is, the name of the program, it's called Google Slides. So that's a one thing. So Google Slides is a presentation program, but our files, you'll often see us use that acronym. Even in this Zoom title, the acronym, we just have Google Slides written as GS because a lot of the times we're talking about maybe one file or maybe multiple files. All right. So what are Google Slides? That's what I like to start with. Now let's think about, and she kind of already talked about it a little bit. Why would a VIPKid teacher want to use Google Slides? You know, what would be the reason? Any ideas? And if you're already kind of exploring Google Slides, or if you are just here to hang out, tell me why you use Google Slides. You can unmute or send it in the chat box.
Basically to present rewards.
Yeah. Rewards, and I definitely use them for rewards. I use them for a lot of things, actually. Props. I know that's weird, right? If any of you guys are brand new to kind of exploring the digital side of things with online teaching, you might be thinking, props, what? This is a prop. It's my little rubber snake I like to use in my trials. I am like a pretty hardcore trial teacher. I love teaching trials, and I use my rubber snake, but I also use Google Slides. And so we'll get to that in a minute. Shortened prep time. Oh yes, definitely, Brittany. Our resource bank contains rewards that are specific to every lesson for VIPKid. So we have, you'll see soon, but we have suggestions, about 3 for every lesson on the VIPKid curriculum. And so you can essentially reduce your prep time just significantly. Oh, I love that. Debbie, I want to just kind of say something about what Debbie said, hoping to give more explanation to my level 6 and 7 students. I love this because when I first started creating Google Slides on just my own personal drive, living in my own little world teaching, and I thought, man, why am I sitting here trying to Google a picture before class? And you know, why not make it a little more long term? Let me save these pictures onto one file and have it for next time. And so that's kind of where the idea kind of evolved from. And so I started creating little presentation files that contained pictures, mostly for upper level students. That's what I taught. And so I was having a hard time, finding a good prop for the word glacier or sneak. Obviously you can TPR it, but what if I wanted to show something a little bit more interesting than me? So this is super important to mention, because I think that our prop files are very valuable. A lot of people use just our rewards, and those are valuable too, but our prop files really help with that whole extending part. That's kind of our group slogan. We want to engage our students. We want to extend with them. We want to have them leave feeling empowered. And so that's definitely a really big why for me. Okay. Yeah. Prop files. I'll kind of show you guys around that, but this is going to be a fun session today. So first thing, why we use Google Slides, we use them for engaging rewards. So if your student loves Captain America and loves Dino, well, why not give them Captain America Dino? Skill-specific practice. This is more so a little bit for the maybe younger ones in level 3. You could open up that Bossy E. This is just an example of one of our files, and you can show them that angry, Bossy E, and it really helps solidify that concept, maybe, especially for those maybe that are struggling with it, or for a student who is just flying through the lesson and you need to give them a little extra practice without having to do a whole lot of work. Another reason we use Google Slides is to scaffold and support for our students. Give some support, scaffold for them, and make it a little bit more fun than just maybe writing the sentence stem on a whiteboard. Can anybody tell me what unit this is from? Does anyone know? This is
I don't know,
one of our prop files.
A snake can slither.
Right. Yes.
Can hop. What?
Yeah,
I taught
right.
that like 3 times this week.
I know. Oh man. Yeah. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite units. So this is an example of one of our prop files. So instead of me getting out my rubber snake for the 50th time and, talking about it slithering, which I may, obviously I am a pretty hybrid teacher, so I will still show this, but then I might hold up my device and show them this as well. You get some laughs or something from them. But also giving them the support they need. A lot of our students sometimes struggle with responding in those complete sentences. And so instead of, starting the sentence for them, maybe show them the sentence frame. Say, read it, okay? How can I use Google Slides? So showing you all these cool pictures, and now you're like, okay, I'm sold. I want to do this now. So the 2 ways that people typically use our files in class are the 2 methods. You can show them on a mobile device. So like I was just talking about, you can hold your device up to your webcam and show the files from your device, which I definitely recommend if you are a beginner, because it allows you to get more familiar with our resources. There are some, there are some key basic functions that you need to understand about the files when they're like in presentation mode and you're using them, that will be helpful to learn on your mobile device instead of trying to learn webcam software, which is the other way that people use Google Slides. Webcam software is a more advanced technique. It's incredibly interactive and engaging, but it is something that takes a bit of a learning curve, okay? So I know many members start with using their mobile device and they graduate to using webcam software, which I think is a really great way to start out and a great path to take. However, there's a lot of people that just dive in head first and learn it all at once. And so there are pros and cons to both. I know our moderator, Heather right there. Oh yeah, you can, yes, sorry. Tablet is fine too. iPads, Amazon Fire, what else? Fire tablet, something like that. You can, yeah, Janet, that's a good point to mention, because like I was saying earlier, I was using my iPad, my very old iPad, during a beginner session last month, and it was giving me some fits. So there are definitely some, I think, minimum requirements that your device needs in order to open up certain types of files. Okay, so here are some examples of Google Slides on a mobile device. As you can see, all of these teachers, they've got their screen, they have one of our files open on their device, and they're holding it up to their webcam. And maybe how do you do this? You would access our resources, which we'll do today, and you open up something that you like on your mobile device, and you just hold it up to your webcam and show your students. And then on the flip side, we've got, let's actually do this one first, or after that. Then on the flip side, you've got webcam software, which is the other way that some more advanced users like to show Google Slides to their students. So as you can see, here are some screenshots. These are from playbacks. So like this would be in the classroom. On my video feed, I can project what would be on my mobile device, or I can project a Google slide onto my actual video feed in the classroom. And this is more advanced, like I said, but it just allows that ability to screen share instead of having to hold your arm up, or your phone up to the webcam and worry about glare or your lighting and things like that. You can integrate it all into one using webcam software. So Debbie, I use Cam Twist actually, which is this little, here, let me spotlight my mouse real quick. I use webcam software, or Cam Twist. It is it's a software for Mac computers only, but
That's what I need.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, Cam Twist is awesome. It was built for Macs, so it runs very light on your computer, and it doesn't really. I don't notice any lag in my classroom unless I'm trying to open a million things at once, which I typically do right before class, but it's not ever a problem before class. But Manicam is for both platforms. And then there are a few other options as well that you can kind of explore in the slide guide. Okay, so webcam software. Now let's look at some actual clips of these being used on those two methods here. Okay, so we're going to watch this, and I want you to think about this question. It's kind of covered up now. It says, we'll look at it after it's done playing, but think about my presentation of the reward, and how am I holding my iPad? What am I doing? What am I asking? What is my energy like? Okay, and don't laugh too much. You're allowed to laugh a little, but this is an old, very old reward demo that me and Beth Pinder did. She's the other admin in our group, and she and I were really trying to get the word out about our resources, and so we decided to pretend to be a teacher and a student and use one of our rewards. So let's watch this. Oh, can y'all not hear it? Oh. Okay, hold on, because you do need to hear it. Let's see. We'll use leave computer audio. Oh, I think what I need to do is, oh, there we go. Okay, can you hear it now? There we go.
Yeah,
Yes.
very good. Nose?
Nose.
Yes, nose. Good job. Panda. Panda?
Panda.
Job.
Eyes.
Eyes.
Dino's eyes.
Where are your eyes?
These are my eyes. These are my eyes.
Good. My eyes are for seeing.
My eyes are for seeing.
Very good.
Okay, you don't have to suffer much longer. That is just an example of how I might use a reward in my class. Obviously not as jokingly, but what do you think about the presentation of that? Like, what kind of stuff did I do that maybe would extend for the student or engage them?
You asked what
Send
their
in the
eyes
chat
did.
or yeah, say.
You asked what their eyes did, and they said, "My eyes are for seeing." So that an older kid or an advanced younger student, that's great. I'm all about extension.
Exactly. And this is for this video we did a while ago. So I honestly think that some of those sentence frames and questions are from old level too, but I can't really remember. But this was some of those sentence frames we were practicing were from level 2. It's a unit about like your face and parts and things like that. So while it's something that's fun and engaging for the student like Panda Dino, you can also be using your reward and have it double as extension or extra practice, that kind of thing. Okay, now here is an example. This is Teacher Beth again. This is an example from one of her classes where she was using she's using webcam software in this clip. And pay attention to kind of what she asks him, and let's see what she does.
What color do you want? I want black color. Black. Say, I want black, please. I want black, please. Good. What color is the spider? The spider is black. Yes, it is. Very good. You get star. Very good.
All right. So what kind of things did Beth do in this clip that maybe stuck out to you?
Well, she corrected the speech, had him repeat it correctly.
Yeah, she elicited that full sentence, and that's what we're always wanting, right? Any other thoughts?
She was very excited about giving him the star, and she didn't just go, "Oh, good, you got a star." You know, she made
exactly.
it fun.
Yeah. So
you can make the slides just as fun as a hand prop if you.
Exactly.
It's all in your voice and your.
It is, for sure. I really try to stress that to a lot of new members and teachers too. We get sometimes posts in our group that are, you know, like, what am I doing? They say, what am I doing wrong? You know, that my students, I'm showing them this and there's no reaction. So the thing is, there are two aspects to it. Some kids are like me, where I really only get excited about really important stuff. And, you know, maybe a star in the classroom or a panda dino or a black spider is not exciting to me. And so I'm just not really going to ever have that reaction. And a lot of our students are like that, where they're just very serious, and we shouldn't worry about it. As long as we're trying our best to extend and engage, it's okay. And if the parents are booking you, they like you, obviously. And then the other aspect too is your energy that you bring to the classroom. I don't know about y'all, but no matter what I'm using, whether it's my my big old like hand clapper thing, whether it's this or whether it's a Google slide, I am like cheering, and I'm doing the most. I'm cheering and being super happy. And they feed off of that energy. So more often than not, my upper level students who normally wouldn't crack a smile about a glittery dino star on my screen, they will if I do, you know, or if I exaggerate my expressions quite a bit. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind if you're wanting to use Google Slides effectively. Use them to engage your student. and use them to extend the lesson. That's how you're going to get those 5 apples all the time, you know? Okay, so number 2, we're like over the hump here. Number 2, we're going to access resources using Slidekick. Now, here's where things get a little bit techy and a little bit, for some, difficult. So what I want you to do, I'm just going to recommend this to you. I think it would be best if you watched me first and send questions in the chat box, because if you're like me, I'm a doer. I want to do it and I want to figure it out, and I'm going to play around, and if I run into issues or problems, then I'll figure it out. But the only thing is since we're limited on time here, you might miss a key step or something I say that's important to remember if you get stuck trying to do it with me. So watch me first, and then we're going to have some time for Q&A at the end, where you can go ahead and try to pull everything up on your own, okay? All right, so I'm checking the chat box. So I'm going to have my chat box up here, and if you have questions, please send them in the chat box. I know Heather is chatting today, and maybe some others. If you know the answer, send the answer too.